Here I'm going to show you a different type of puzzle. This one's called a mosaic. You can see that the tiles are different because they are combinations of 4 letters. And these 4 letters have to stay together, so they work as a unit. Here's the mosaic that I'm going to solve. You can see ANSI, BAFO, BUXA, and I've copied each of these all the way across in order to make 5 by 5, 25, I'll call them tiles, each with 4 letters on them. So now the next thing that we need to do is notice that this grid that underlays my, my page protector is different from the grid that we used in the other puzzle. This one has sections that have lines at the bottom of each section. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these sections on my grid. Because this is a 5 by 5 puzzle, you can see 5 rows by 5 columns. So I've got 5 rows, and I'm going to take my red marker and mark here to delineate my 5 columns so that I get a little visual going on. Okay, then the next thing that I need to do to prepare to start is to get the word delineations, and I'm going to go through this while recording because it's different from the other. I can see on my mosaic that the first word is 5 letters. So here we go 1, 2, because each of these columns will accommodate a single tile that accommodates 2 letters across. So if the first word is 5 letters long, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then, sorry about the glare, I put a line right there to indicate that it's going to be a 5-letter, to indicate that the first word ends there. The second word is 7 letters, so I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then I wrap down to the lower row of the lower part of this next row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. Running out of ink on this. Then 4, 2, 4, so that's 4. Then 2, so we go that. Then 6, now watch what we have to do. 6, 1, 2, then we jump to the next. Here was 1, 2, and then we jump to the next one. 3, 4, 5, 6, and that's here. Then we get 4, then 2, then 10 with an asterisk. So I'm going to do my little 3 here, and I'm going to go 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I'm going to mark that there. Then we've got 8 with a caret, so I come down here, 2, 4, 6, 8, a comma, 5 apostrophe 1. That's helpful because that way we can maybe realize a contraction. And that one has also capitalization, 2, 4, and 5 with an apostrophe and 1. Then 7, 2, 4, 6, 7. Then 8, and then 5. 2, 4, 6, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then 8, capitalized, 2, 4, 6, 8. Then a caret with a 5. Then 2 4s, 2. And finish with a 5. And luckily, I did it correctly. Because sometimes you lose count, and then you have to erase it all or wipe it all off and do it again. So that's, now I'm going to start the thing, but I'm going to start it on my own and start this video a little later. I've had a look at this grid. I'm looking for ways to get in. I always look for, well, contractions are really helpful, but what caught my eye first was Here is a 2-letter word that is on a single tile, because a tile is going to fit here. And the 2 letters below it will be the last 2 letters of another word. So I'm going to quickly scan. Here's AN. That's a 2-letter word, but it's unusual. It would be unusual for a word in English to end with SI. So I'm going to move on. I'm going to look for a 2-letter word across the top of these tiles. Here's of. And I'm looking across, and I see US, which is a 2-letter word, but KT would be an unusual ending 2 letters of a word. So it looks to me as if this may be right here. The next thing that I'm going to do, here is a tile with an intact 2-letter word on its lower row. So just for laughs, I'm going to look SIFOXATAELLPHAASSOADIT. Here's a 2-letter word in the lower row. Here's another one. Here's another one. Now this ON, let's see what we can do with that. All right, so I'm guessing that that's not going to work, because what I'm guessing is that that Y is at the end of some word, and so would go someplace like that. See, because I can see the red mark between it, and really, it's interesting because, oh, it might go here as well, because what I need is a word separation in a tile in the top row of the tile. But I'm going to put that aside for the moment and focus on this. So I have a 2-letter word with its, okay, so it could be either one. This word is a 2, 4, 6, 7-letter word that may start with some letter and have SI in the next 2 letters, or it may have LT. So I'm not sure about it. I'm just going to leave that there, and I'm going to focus on this other clue, which is a contraction. What we have is a contraction in the lower row of a tile, and a contraction could be a contraction, or it could be a possessive. So it could be an apostrophe S, or it could be an N apostrophe T. So I see an N apostrophe T right here, and I don't see any other things that are similar. So if this were here, then up here, now here is a deal. The word that includes this apostrophe is capitalized. It's not just capitalized, it's a proper name. So now I'm thinking maybe it's not a contraction, but rather a possessive. So if I put this aside again, put it here, I'm going to look for a possessive in the lower, I'm going to look for an S in the lower right-hand side of a tile. And I see one here, but there's 2 S's in a row. That would be a little unusual. Here's an S in the lower right-hand side. Now, the reason I'm heaving a sigh is because now starts the real work. There's no obvious, I always look for 3-letter words to see if I can get a THE in there. I don't even see any. I am going to have to start slugging it out, just woodshedding it, as they say, and just try and make sense. There's a very long word here. It's capitalized. It's not a possessive. As I mentioned before, a lot of long words end in ION or IVE. This one does not, if that OF is correct. So it is capitalized. It's a proper name. So let's see if we can say American, AMERICAN. No, that's a no, not enough words. But it could be some kind of country designation, like American, Canadian, something. So I'm going to need to turn off the video and start hacking at this. Yeah. This is an interim progress report here. I was down to trying to figure out using word separations, so I could see that there were 2 word separations in the top rows, and TB seemed to be a good place to break a word. So it could have been here, but I'm pretty sure about this SITO, and that B wasn't going to work. So I put it down here, and then I realized I had a 5-letter word, blank, NT, blank, blank. And so I just started going NTSI, NTFO, NT, until I thought, oh, until. So I put the UIIL here, and that seemed to be okay. And then I looked for a U in the upper right-hand quadrant, and I found 2 of them, one here, one here. And the reason that I favored this one is because it ended in a G, and I thought that perhaps that might be a more likely word ending than the letter B. And anytime I see a G, I look for the IN, and there's an IN here. Now here, we've got something building here, and that's clearly not, wait, LD, building. I was going to say OLPH is clearly ADOLPH. So now we've got the word building until Adolphus. Let's look for a US. I don't see it. So now I need a proper name that starts with ADOLPH and has 2 more letters. So Adolphun, Adolpher, Adolphil, I don't know. So I'm going to keep working from here and see what I can do.